Hello everyone and welcome on De Papier et de Rêve channel. I'm Ursula and today I will be painting with you a view of a Japanese pond. And today I'm not working with rough paper as usual. I'm working with a hot press paper. I did a video about this paper quite a while ago, and since then I've tried other painting on it, and I think I've made some progress with it, and I quite enjoy working with this paper. So I wanted to make another video and talk more about this paper. For my reference picture, it's coming from a trip I've made to the botanical garden in Stockholm, and it's from the Japanese area, and there is a Japanese pond, and it's a very peaceful and nice place. So I wanted to paint it and try to express this peacefulness in my painting. So for the first layer, I'm just placing the color in the right place. It's very messy, but I'm totally okay with that. It's how I work. I'm painting very loosely for this landscape. And you can see that I have some difficulty to get the right amount of water on my paper, because when it has dried, you can see a lot of flowers appearing around the colors, and it's because there were a little bit too much water on this area. But I don't mind in the first layer, because I can go over it with other layers, and it will add texture at the end, so it's quite interesting. And there is a little trick to avoid so much cauliflower on your painting. If you see a real puddle of water created on your paper, you can always absorb it before it dries with a brush quite dry, not totally dry, but where you have expressed all the water in it. You can absorb this water, this puddle of water, and it will avoid a little bit the flowers. With this hot press paper, I still have the feeling that I made some stain on my paper, and I have trouble to make a beautiful gradient, but I make my peace with that, and I think that the texture I get with this paper is quite interesting, and I have to work with it and not work against it. And for this painting, I'm also using a big piece of paper. I don't think you can see it on camera, but it's quite bigger than I'm used to. That's why I've put my big brush in action. And I quite like this size of paper, because I feel free in my movement and my brush strokes, and it's quite interesting to work with. And I have more the impression to work with all my body more than just with my hand. And I think that working with big brushes in watercolor, and especially in loose watercolor, is quite a nice thing to do, because I don't know, I feel the medium more with a big brush. I think it's more interesting with a big brush, and maybe some beginners could be afraid of that, but I think it's an help to loosen up. But let's talk about the supplies. For the brushes, I've used an Escoda Aquario number 18 and another Escoda Último 1-inch, a flat brush. And last, a Rosemary Co serie 39 half an inch in a dagger shape. For the color, I've used Cerulean blue, Indanthrene blue, Verona gold ochre, Quinacridone gold, rose madder lake, and burnt sienna. And my paper, as I said before, is from Canson Héritage in hot press. So in my first 2 layers I've put color in place and start of the shape in the second layer. And now I will work a little bit more with details and adding depth to my painting and adding contrast and yes, some other details. And as you can see on my picture, the bottom part is very white. It's because there was some kind of a beach with gravel on it in this area. And I wanted to keep this area very light, but I do need to add a little bit interest here because it's quite a large area. And so I'm adding some tree shadows on this beach. And I think I haven't quite right the colors for the shadows. It's a little bit too bright and it's a bit disturbing in my painting. I've tried to put violet in other places in my painting, but it's the only parts where it's glow, in fact. So maybe it's a little bit of a mistake here, but well, yes, I will maybe change that in the future. But anyway, in order to have those shadows a little bit fuzzy and with soft edges, I've wet all the white parts and then wait a little bit before painting color in it, so that the color will diffuse a little bit, but not too much, in order to have this fuzzy effect. For the last details in this painting, I'm using my dagger shape brush because I want some random effect in my brush marks, so that the effect will be more natural. And it's quite a nice brush to make trees and herbs and everything natural, in fact, because of this randomness. So I've made this painting a few days before recording this voiceover, and I'm not totally happy with this painting, and I think I can do better. And I can transform it a little bit with some more details. There won't be those details in this video, but I hope I can make a bonus video for next week, so that you can see how I will transform this painting a little bit, not too much, in order to make it work a little bit better. I don't know when I will be able to post it, but please subscribe to my channel to not miss any video. It will help me a lot. Thank you. And I'm still trying to add a little bit more interest in my white area, and I'm making some projection with my toothbrush. It will create some texture that will maybe make you think about gravels or sand or something like that. And it's just an help to identify this area a little bit more. And even if I think I can do a bit better on this painting, I'm quite happy with it anyway, because I love the effects I was able to get thanks to this hot press paper. I'm not sure you can see it all, but please check the blog post in relation with this painting. I will put some close-up in some area so that you can see all the texture. And all this work is quite interesting, and I also love a lot the color that glow with this paper. I think that they are staying a little bit more on top of the paper, so they are very bright and colorful, and it's a real pleasure to have those colors with this paper. And when I was painting this landscape, I had a lot of idea on how I can use this paper to my advantage, and I wanted to paint quite a lot of things. And maybe I will paint some rhododendron in the future. I hope you will be able to see it on my channel. And this video is now ending. Thanks for watching. I hope you like it. Please check the blog post for more information about it and tell me what you think in the comments. See you soon.